my learned friend, Professor Gideon Muigai, left. And remember, he said at the beginning, it's a long time since we appeared on a matter of this nature on the same side. But I agree with him when he says we are here not to address theoretical questions. We are not here to address hypothetical questions. We are here to address very concrete questions of law. And my Lord, when I was listening throughout to those questions that I think are important for the determination of these appeals, I did not hear the same kind of oration on those specific themes to enable this court to arrive at a decision. And for me, really, there are 5 issues. The basic structure doctrine, the doctrines of interpretation in relation to the matters that are before your lordships and your ladyships, the question of popular initiative and public participation, and finally, with a subset of themes, is the issues around IEBC and the question as to verification and a regulatory framework. These are the concrete questions before your lordships. And I must say that if we were clearly had crystallized these questions and addressed you on these matters, probably we should not have taken as long as we did. But as a starting point, my lords, I want to persuade you that this Constitution of Kenya 2010 was trying to address a very critical question. And I want to take your lordships to the French Revolution. One of the most important documents that came out of the French Revolution was Les droits d'homme et du citoyen, the rights of man and the citizen. It is the basis upon which even United Nations instruments on human rights are based. My lords, after the French Revolution, when the 3 estates met in Versailles, the 3 estates were the clergy, the commoners, and the noblemen. Within 2 years, there was a reign of terror. There was a reign of terror by one, prosecuted by one Robespierre. And unfortunately, this Robespierre was a lawyer, was a statesman and a lawyer. And what he did, he just went to the communes in Paris and said, we the people, in the name of the revolution, we are taking over from the Estates General and establish a convention in which he came out as a dictator. Robespierre went to the guillotine, and after his death, there was another body called the Directorate. Again, that came to power in the name of the people. The revolution came to an end when Napoleon took over power in the year 1799. And thereafter, French interchanged monarchy, empires, republics, until after the Second World War, we had what is called the Fifth Republic. What this constitution is saying, that we, the people, having made this constitution for ourselves, we are bound by this constitution. And if you want to change it, you have to go by this constitution. You cannot go to Kisumu and mobilize 1,000 people in a stadium and say, we the people, we are changing ourselves into a constituent assembly, and therefore we want to amend or change the constitution. So I want to disabuse this notion that there is a power outside the constitution, including the people. The people are bound by this constitution. And if they want to go outside the constitution, they have the constitutional instruments to go outside it, but in accordance with the Constitution. And my Lord and my ladies, when it came to the question of the doctrine, the basic structure doctrine, everybody who went to Article 255, 256, 257, other than making a general statement that there is entrenched provisions which are unamendable, like my learned friend, Mr. John Hamidwa, whom I respect, he did not go to the text at all. He just made a general statement that these provisions are not amendable. The only person that I thought approached addressing that question was the President of the Law Society, who said it was implicit, just like the system of checks and balances is implicit in the Constitution. I want to inform your lordships that, in fact, even that system of checks and balances is not just implicit. You get it from the text. Article 1, 2, and 3, that talks about the delegation of these powers to the national executive, to the legislature, and to the judiciary. And in relation to the parliament, Article 94(1), in relation to the executive, Chapter 9, Part 1 of the Constitution, and judicial authority, you would find it in Article 159. And this checks and balances is both horizontally and vertically. And that is found in Article 174, H and I. You will find that the system of checks and balances does not just apply vertically, nationally, but also to devolve government at the counties. Now, the very important question which we must address is the question of popular initiative and the question of promoters. My Lord, in our reading of the Constitution, first of all, to qualify for a popular initiative, I want to persuade your lordships that Article 257, sub-article 1 and 2, is about qualification and attaining the threshold, is a trigger mechanism for a popular initiative. For example, if you want to run as president, the qualification requires that you have 2,000 signatures in at least 24 counties. Before you present your papers, you have to have 2,000 subscribers in 24 counties all over the Republic. In our submission, therefore, Article 257, 1, 2, 3 is about qualification. And the reason why it is qualification, my lordships, you'll find that from sub-article 2 up to sub-article 8, when the bill is introduced into the National Assembly and the Senate, what has been formulated is not a bill, is a draft bill. It's not a bill. For you to qualify, you have a draft bill, and you have 1 million signatures, and then you have the support of 24 counties. Once you have a majority of 24 counties, that is a constitutional step that you must attain before you can go for a referendum. And therefore, my lords and your leaderships, this question of popular initiative, I think, also can be addressed in a commonsensical way, like I've read in some judgments of Justice Kiagi, is that president without political rights, can he go into a booth and vote? Can he become a member of a political party? Can he be a member of the village, circle?